Happy Thursday afternoon. I am coming on to talk about, if I could get my little tripod to work right, guys. I'm coming on to talk to you about something that has really been on my heart lately. From doing the show, from working with coaches, from working with the women on the show, just even the point where I'm at in my own life, right? God has a dream for your life that is beyond this moment. It's beyond where you're at. It's beyond what you've been through. It's beyond, hey, Nikki, hey, Erica, hey, Stack Meatball 44. Hey, everybody, as you're coming on. I know I'm just jumping right in, not even giving you guys a few minutes to get here. This message is for those of you who could find yourself right now in a place of in-between. Shawanda, thank you, sweetheart. Hey, beautiful. You may find yourself in a place of in-between, and that's a lot of us. We're in between. If I'm really honest, guys, a lot of my time in the seasons of my life has been spent in between. I feel like I have these very short periods of time in my seasons of life where I've arrived at the expected destination and I get there and I'm there for just a little while where everything feels so solid. It feels understood. It feels certain. It feels like, yes, I got this. It's happening. I love this. This is amazing. Yay. And then just as quickly as I've gotten my legs under me and I'm assured of what I'm doing, God begins to transition me into the next thing. God begins to walk me into the next season, the next iteration of purpose, of passion, of destiny, of calling, of whatever you want to call it. G-Jack35 says, I just feel stuck. That's a really common feeling when you're in the in-between. When you're not where you were, but you're not quite where you're headed either. You're not as bad off as it was. You can look back and you can be grateful for what God's brought you through, and you can be grateful for everything you've survived, and you can be grateful that by the grace of God you got out. But yet, if you really are honest about where you're at right this second, you feel as if wait a minute, I'm not there. Where are the promises of God? Where are the next steps? Wait, this isn't exactly what I had in mind when I felt like I was coming out of where I was. I thought that it was going to be a straight line from A to B of the preview that God gave me of what this transformation journey, what this road was going to look like, what this path was going to look like, the promise of where you're headed. How is it that right this second, I'm like, this doesn't exactly look like what I thought I was manifesting. This dating stuff's for the birds, Rebecca. I didn't want to be in that toxic relationship. But good God, being single and not being married, I thought that, I didn't know I'd be out here this long. I didn't know that this business would be so trying. I did not know that getting this idea or this baby birthed off the ground, this vision, this dream, I did not know that it would try me. I did not know that it would take me through so many changes, that I had to change, that I had to transform, that God was going to work some things out in me to be ready for the next thing. There's a Hebrew word called calzone. Calzone is the Hebrew word for God's vision for your life, God's dream for your life. There's actually a word for this in other languages. Calzone is a Hebrew word for God's vision for your life, God's dream for your life. And it is bigger than where you're at right now. It's bigger than some of the things you've had in mind. It's bigger than the things you thought were a fit for you, and only to get it and you realize, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if this is and if someone would have asked you, If someone would have asked you, Stack Meatball 44 says, we must understand the season for change. Yes. But if someone would have asked us when we were so intent on manifesting that next level dream, when you were just like, yes, I'm going to do it. God is doing it. It's happening. I'm doing it. If someone would have asked you in that moment, if that dream was everything you wanted it to be, you're like, yes, I wanted it for me. Yay. I'm going to do it. And then you get there, because see, isn't it so human nature, guys, that we always want something else? That you get, aren't we so quick to get something we've asked for, worked for, dreamed for, manifested, prepared for? Aren't we so quick then that prayer can be answered, but aren't we so quick to be wanting something else right after that? Aren't we so quick to not even relish the victory after in that moment of something you did manifest, but then we're on to the next? And how often is it that you manifest something that you've had your heart intent on, only to experience it and be like, what was I thinking? Like, this isn't. Some of y'all got married. You pressured yourself. You pushed and manipulated and wrestled it and made it happen. And then you get the result and you're like, this. Look, you see my face? Was this the right choice? I don't think this is exactly what I had in mind. Right? You get a new experience and it's like, no, wait a minute. This don't feel like a blessing. This feel like a setback, right? I can attest. I'm attesting to it. How many of you can attest? How many of you can agree with me that you have had your heart set on something and the power of your will, the power of your tongue, the power of your mind, you done manifested some things, honey, that you done got into and been like, auntie, I wasn't ready for that. I don't think that was the right thing for me to manifest. And then you got to hit the reset button, right? Because out of these new experiences, you then feel like you're kind of taking an L, and there's heartbreak and there's pain and there's disappointment and there's feelings of rejection or feelings that you somehow got it wrong, or dang, I thought I was in love. Dang, I thought this was the business for me, but I don't like it. Dang, I thought I wanted to open a restaurant. Dang, I thought I wanted to open a school. Dang, I thought I wanted to be an author. Dang, I have so many experiences like this, guys, where I'll get so motivated and empowered and inspired by seeing other things that people do. And then I'll say, oh, years ago, my assistant Cheryl's on here. She's been with me for years. Go to me at every event, every conference, pulling books, pulling totes of merchandise and t-shirts and books. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be a motivational speaker. And I just want to do speaking engagements. And the more speaking engagements that came, the more I was like, I don't know if I like this so much. This is a whole lot of work. And we kept raising my honorarium and raising the price on what it would cost to hire me. And no matter how much I raised the price, I just didn't like it. Why? I'm used to getting in front of a video and reaching thousands of people. It's a lot of work to be a keynote speaker or get paid to go and have to bring your team and your merchandise and set up a booth and fly and hair and makeup and clothes and travel and be away from your family and leave your doggies. And you got to be prepared and equipped days in advance before you leave, and preparing weeks in advance for the trip. And you got to be away from everyone and your loved ones, and you're out of your routines, and then you're not exercising while you're gone. Then you get home and you got to hit reset and get back to doing all your other business stuff. And I realized, I think I'm okay with maybe creating my own speaking engagements, but not so crazy about going on the road or traveling or being paid to speak. And these are the kind of ideas that sound so amazing in theory. In theory, all of this, you can look at other people's lives and be so inspired and say, oh, I want to do that. I want to be a paid speaker. I want to be an author. I want to be a wife. I want to be a husband. I want to be a business owner, an entrepreneur. I want to be fill in the blanks. Whatever it is you want to fill in the blanks, I want to be. Oh, I know. Carrie Pope, come on. I love that Carrie is here supporting Rebecca. That's my boo. So guys, listen. Fill in the blank. I want to be. I want to be. I want to do. And then you get it, and it's not always what it's cracked up to be. It's harder. It takes more work. It takes discipline. It takes growth. It takes therapy. It takes coaching. Dang, it takes accountability. It takes work ethic. Carrie, oh my God, you look freaking amazing. Leave it to my husband to be on my video talking about I look amazing. I love you, baby. Thank you. So, guys, here's the thing. While we tend to chase this or that, the truth is that God has a bigger dream for your life. God has a dream for your life. And all of these experiences, all of this trial and error is really just stepping stones. These are just life lessons, stepping stones that if you give yourself over to the greater dream, the greater vision, the greater calzone of your life, God has greater for you. And all these things that feel as if, that didn't work out. Oh, that divorce. Oh, that heartbreak. Oh, that relationship, that business that failed, right? It's just a stepping stone. And God is guiding you and leading you into greater. We learn. Every time we fall down, we learn. Every time we have a new experience, we learn. How often is it, guys, that really the difference between people who make advancement, elevate, grow, reach their goals, those people are simply the people who keep trying, who keep moving forward. The people who keep going forward towards their goals and not giving up, not afraid to fail. Not afraid to fail, right? What's Stack Meatball say? Everybody saying Stack Meatball, yes. Sometimes that bag you chasing is empty without God. Ooh, listen. Yes. Stack Meatball, listen. I am at a place in my life, and I wrote down something in my journal this morning as I was journaling and meditating. And I wrote down, if God ain't in it, I'm not interested. I am at this place in my life where I have become to this realization that I don't really want to do anything superficial. I don't really want to do anything that doesn't include God. The only things that excite me and keep me captivated and keep me interested and keep me committed are the things where I'm able to show up 100% authentically me in all of my anointing, in all of my gifts, in everything that God created me to be, in anything that kind of waters that down, anything that kind of only touches on it. And this morning as I was journaling, meditated, journaling, this is inside the Heartbreak course. For those of you who are learning the morning routine, right? It's in the Heartbreak course. I'm journaling. And God took me in my mind to me as a little girl. I've had prophetic dreams since I was a little girl. I would dream dreams that come true. I began healing and God working through me to heal people from the time I was a little girl. I literally have been spiritually gifted, anointed from the time I was a little girl. 20s, 30s, 40s, running from church, not anointing. If you guys, those of you who have followed me for a long time and really analyzed my platform, you realize I have done ministry outside of the four walls of church because I had so much spiritual abuse and church hurt that I was so afraid to do anything that resembled traditional ministry. But it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter how you label yourself. You're a wife long before you ever say I do to someone. You inhibit the characteristics and virtues of a good wife long before anybody ever changes your name. You are a husband and a good father in virtue, in nature, long before you ever wife somebody and change your last name and have some babies. Whoever you are and whoever God's called you to be, whoever God created you to be, from the time you were born, from the time God planted you in your mother's womb, is who you are. We grow, we learn, we go through experiences. But there's something that God showed me this morning about me. And I'm just sharing my insights. Is that how often are we running from God's greater dream for our life because we're afraid? Because we feel that somehow to let go and let God truly have his way in our lives, that God is going to bring something we don't want, or that we're afraid is not going to be a fit for who we really are and who we want. Not realizing that often how you see yourself has been so manipulated by pain and fear that you not trusting God is just holding up the manifestation of the greater dream and call that he has for your life. Wait, you mean the things I've been through are causing me to pump the brakes on what God really wants to do in my life, because until I let go and let God in this area, God can't have his way over here in these other areas. And it's time now to surrender, and it's time to trust. It is time to take your faith and exercise it to the next level, even in this area that you've been trying to avoid letting God get a hold of. Because you want to be in control of how it happens. And until we release control and attachment over how it comes and give the how over to God, we can't manifest the greater vision and greater dream that God has for our lives. There's greater love beyond this point. There's greater purpose beyond this point. There's greater anointing for your life beyond this point. There is greater prosperity beyond this point. There is greater for you beyond this current heartbreak, this current disappointment, this current status, this current bank account, this current everything. There is more for you beyond this point. What is it going to take for you to let go and let God? What does that mean? Rebecca, what does that mean? You know, in the faith community, there's all these cliches. There's always cliches, all these little sayings. Let go and let God. God never puts too much on you than you can bear. Right? There's all these sayings, all these cliche sayings. How? How do you do this, Rebecca? How do I invite in the greater? How do I let go? I don't even know what that looks like. Right? Mommy Stacy says, what am I not letting go of? Exactly. Mommy, here's what we don't let go of. Control. How? We don't let go of our pain. We don't let go of our fears. We don't let go of our past experiences that have manipulated us into feeling as if this isn't for me. No, that I can't. That's not who I am. No, it's not meant to be. On the phone with a really good friend of mine. Been friends since we were 12 years old. Over 30 years. And we're on the phone. And she's thinking about dating again. And she's like, oh, I just got to this place where I'm so happy and content with my single life. I have finally at a point where I've created a life I love, Rebecca, and I've created, this wonderful security in who I am. And I just feel so good. And there's just, I just don't even want to think about dating again and all the people wasting your time and all these men who are hurt and all this. And I said, but we do know there's good men. We do know there's men doing the work. We do know that there's men with good hearts. We do know that there's men who are not abusive. We do know that there's men who aren't narcissists. We do know, come on. What is it in your mind that you are repeating to yourself that you keep playing this tape over and over and over again to justify staying where you're at and not letting go of the fears that are holding you back from the very things that you know you really truly want? And I said to her, don't even get on the dating app until you can shift your spirit and your mindset to even be attracting the healthy, loving, good men. Because if you go on expecting bad, toxic narcissists, guess what you're going to attract? Guess what you're going to accept? Guess what you're going to entertain? More of the same, toxic, narcissist. But this mind of ours, God gave us this brain that is capable of attracting and creating. We create with our thoughts. We create with our mind. God's spirit that is inside of you and the nature of God, because you're born of spirit, Holy Spirit, because we are born of spirit. We have the capacity of creation just like God, which means that when you tap in and you make up your mind about something, make up your good, bad, or the ugly, when you make up your mind about something, that is your truth. As a man thinketh, this is what it means. Whatever you're holding in between your ears is what you're manifesting and what God is doing in your life. Good, bad, or ugly. What you believe is true. So guess what? If your predominant feelings are that you're not worthy, that you're not lovable, that that's just not for you, that you're not meant to be wealthy, that's over there for those people, that you're not meant to be an entrepreneur, that's for those other people, that you're not meant to be married, oh, I just don't think that's a fit for me. But if the underlying issues that are causing you to deny are fear and doubt, then really, honestly, and truthfully, it doesn't change the fact that you still desire it. You just don't know how to manifest it because you don't know how to think right about that thing. All your fears and self-doubts and all your issues are getting in the way of manifesting the next big dream, the bigger dream God has for your life. You have to invite it in. What does that look like for me? I'm going to make it real. Ministry. Anybody who's followed me for years, you hear me touch on it about every year. I'll call myself everything but a pastor, everything but a minister. I'm a coach. I'm a master coach. I'm an author. I'm a host of a TV show. I'm a course creator. I certify coaches. I'm a healer. I'll call myself everything but a minister. Why? Fear, self-doubt, labels, pain, abuse. It has taken God about 15 years of working on me to get me to the place right here today where this morning I'm sitting and journaling saying, yeah, I don't think I really want to do anything else except healing. I don't think I want to do anything else except point people to God. I don't think I want to do anything else except help people heal the pain. I don't think I really want to do anything else. So if that makes me a minister, if that makes me a pastor, if that makes me whatever label that needs to be called, then we about to rock with it, because I don't have it in me anymore to resist who God created me to be. Who has God created you to be? And you don't want to be like me. You don't want to keep resisting it for 15 years. Did I create a lot of stuff? Have I had a lot of success? Have I made a lot of money? Have I manifested abundant life? Yes. Yes. But that's all been stepping stones. Abundant life path. Millionaire coach. Marry me now. Books, courses, the work masterclass, the dating masterclass, Mrs. Pope, married to the love of my life, money in the bank, shorty what you drank, all the partying. Yeah, don't leave out. Look, I better not leave out all the low places, the partying, the getting drunk, the dating, the places in my life where I was lost, prophesying to people when I was drunk. That's still all part of it. All the ugly places are part of it. It's part of the path. It's part of destiny. It's getting you where you need to be. It's all lessons. All lessons. Twerking on the counter, the bar top. Look, y'all don't want to play with me. Right? I tell people in a heartbeat, I got it all wrong before I got it right. Look, I get that next level of popular, honey. Look, don't be surprised if people are popping out with videos of me dancing on some countertops. Look, just be forewarned. I am not that minister. I am not that preacher. I am not that pastor. I'm letting you know right now. Yeah, I did it. Whatever they say I did it. But can I tell you something about the grace of God? God never leaves us. He never forsakes us. This is something I learned from running the streets. This is something I learned from partying. This is something I learned when I was trying to drown my pain in alcohol, when I was trying to drown my pain in partying. Do you know that God would talk to me when I was drunk? Do you know that I couldn't be nowhere? I could be standing at the club, drunk, and be at the bar trying to get another drink, as if I'm not tipsy enough. And then God starts speaking to me about the woman standing next to me at the bar. And because I've always been obedient to the voice of God, I turned to her tipsy and start speaking into her life exactly what God was whispering in my ear about her that I needed to say. And her crying right there in the club at the bar because I spoke into her to answer a prayer that she had just asked God about. Because God will use a rock. If he can't find the people willing to do his will on earth, he said he'll make the rocks cry out. I've always been a willing vessel. One thing God can trust me to do is to do and say and go wherever he tells me to go, whatever he tells me to say, whatever he tells me to do. God knows he can trust me. And I learned to trust God in some of my most broken places is where I learned to trust God. Because God is not this perfect God that you have to somehow be so perfect to be worthy of God's love. You don't have to be Patty perfect. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have it all right. You don't have to be so perfect the way everybody tries to paint it like you have to be an anointed spiritual vessel to help people. So guess what? While you over here denying God's calling on your life because of your divorce, because of the promiscuity, because of the abortion, because of the addiction, because of the... God says it is the brokenhearted that are closest to him. You want to find God? You want to know where God's at? You looking for God? Find you some broken people. Find you some hurting people. God is closest to those who are hurting. I ain't talking about these people who try to act like they're God's gift on earth. I'm not talking about leaders that abuse God's people. I'm talking about the pure spirit of who God is. God is love. Period. Sometimes it's tough love, but it's still love. Period. Y'all done got me on here crying this look, this afternoon, I was about to say this morning, up here crying. I've been at the bottom. I know what I'm talking about. I've lost everything before God began to help me put my life back together. And it is when you do your work. Cali girl in the Georgia world, thank God for the tough love. Hey Billy. Listen, there's two types of work that you've got to make up your mind to do. The first is your own personal healing work. That's the first thing you have to commit to doing. Two, and we have 2 courses for that. The Heartbreak, brand new Heartbreak course. We also have the Work Masterclass, which is long, guys. It's in depth. If you want a really in-depth deep dive into shadow work and spiritual healing, the Work Masterclass is for you. If you need something very affordable for your budget right now, we have a $47 Heartbreak course that is directly linked to healing in abundant life. You want to make sure you sign up for that course. Then there is the second type of work. Howard says Masterclass is phenomenal. Thank you, sweetheart. The second type of work you have to be prepared is purpose work. Your purpose work. Your purpose work is your greater calling on this earth. It is what you're meant to do in order to make a difference on earth. Purpose work. First is your healing work, personal healing work. 2 is your purpose work. Okay? Purpose work is any form of service or product that is directly linked to helping people, helping to make a difference. It is directly linked to your passions, your dreams. It's directly linked to the things that you may consider your bliss. It is directly linked to the things that you just can't stop doing no matter how much you try. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop being about it. For me, that's healing. That's healing and helping people to live abundantly. Carrie and I are preparing to launch Abundant Life Nation. Abundant Life Nation is the ministry side of what we have planned to do for a very long time. The purpose of Abundant Life Nation is promoting therapy, healing, coaching with motivation. So unlike, ministry in the traditional form, we're really on top of motivation, holding you accountable for your own healing work and therapy and coaching so that you can live abundantly. Now, for those of you who are ready for the second phase of work, which is purpose work, and those of you who feel like you're drawn to spiritual healing work and you want to be a coach, that's why we have Abundant Life Path Coaching Certification for those of you who want to be a certified coach and join Healer Nation. Got my sweatshirt on, Healer Nation, because the world needs healers like never before. We need healers. We need healing. Kabibi Shaw says, God bless Abundant Life Nation in advance. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, we're going to do this. We are going to do this. God showed me a dream for Abundant Life Nation years ago, guys, and it was really big. Don't you guys always catch on to a theme that I dream really big? I think you guys know that for anyone who's really followed me for any long time. But Abundant Life Nation's coming. We'll launch in Atlanta, but we'll also launch virtually globally. So look forward to that. Right now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this as just plainly as I can. God is going to be aligning our inner circle of leadership for Abundant Life Path and Abundant Life Nation with Carrie Pope and I in this next season. What does that mean? What are you saying, Rebecca? I'm saying that the calling that Carrie and I have is bigger than what we can do by ourselves. What we are doing is building leadership inside of our organization so that we are multiplying how much work we can do. If you are a leader, if you know you're called to be a leader, our leadership track is the Abundant Life Path Coaching Certification to become a certified Abundant Life Coach. We are now about to release a master's program, which is the next step in that leadership track to be able to work with us inside of Abundant Life Path and Abundant Life Nation. We plan on global conferences. We plan on huge events. And if you feel aligned with our platform, if you feel aligned with our spirituality, with our unconventional type of ministry, then I am reaching out to you to say, make sure you click the link in my bio to become a certified Abundant Life Coach. That is the only way that you are going to be vetted, that we work with you more one-on-one, making sure you are ready, truly ready for leadership inside of Abundant Life Path and Abundant Life Nation. I've said for years that one of the biggest issues, guys, I come from church, okay? One of the biggest issues I've seen in ministries is that everything is a volunteer-based system. And there's nothing wrong with people volunteering. But one of the other issues is that the only vetting process that typically goes forth in order for someone to be in leadership in a mega ministry is their anointing and their willingness to serve. And at Abundant Life, that's not enough. That's not enough. That is why you have so many people in leadership bleeding and mistreating and abusing so many of God's people inside of these organizations. Because behind the scenes, You have got to heal as a leader. You have to be taught. You have to be trained. You have to be coached. You have to prepare for leadership. Before I put anybody in a position to coach, minister, speak, anything on our platform, you're going to need to go through our courses to make sure you are trained, equipped, and ready for that next level of calling inside of the Abundant Life organization. So for those of you who feel called to do that, we get emails. I get emails. I want to volunteer. Rebecca, I feel called to you. I want you to be my mentor. That's our mentoring program. The Abundant Life Path Coaching Certification, become a certified Abundant Life Path. Then you'll be ready for our master's program. Then that is being vetted. You're then vetted. I know for a fact you've done this healing work. You've gone through your healing courses. You've gone through your leadership courses, your code of conduct. You've gone through, because what I'm not going to do. Example. How many of these mega ministries have you seen where there's always a scandal? There's always somebody in leadership having to get fired. You find out that they're molesting people, sleeping with people. You find out all kinds of craziness is going on. And at the top. And then people are so hurt and distraught, and there's been abuse behind the scenes, people getting mistreated behind the scenes for years and years. And then it finally comes out and everyone is so disappointed in the mega ministry and in the leadership. Why? Because church people are some of the brokest, jacked up, most unhealed people in the whole wide world. Reline Renee says, been saving up for your coaching certification. Sweetheart, we dropped the price. I don't know if you saw our newest email we sent out. The price has been dropped. We went to more of a virtual platform. We've cut the price. So make sure you click the link in there to get the new details, okay? But I mean, you guys know I just keep it real. Y'all know I speak from the heart. Church people are jacked up. And church leadership is even more jacked up. Which is why everyone's so disappointed when the truth comes out about people. Because why? Here, I just said something this morning to Carrie. I said, Carrie, when's the last time you heard a mega pastor or a pastor from the pulpit say, my therapist? My therapist said, or in therapy last week, I learned, da-da-da-da. When's the last time you heard somebody in ministry lead about mental health? From a place of practice. Practice. From an actual real life, this is what I do. This is not just what I talk about and not just what I refer people to and hold other people accountable to. But for yourself. When's the last time you heard a pastor or anybody in ministry from that place of leadership say, my therapist, I'm getting therapy for... The only time you even hear therapy is when there's been a crisis. When all hell has broken loose and now they're doing a PR campaign to try to plug the holes. Why is it that therapy and coaching is only mentioned as a PR crisis solution? Relina Renee says, they're kind of against it. I grew up so religious and there was so much self-sabotage. Yes. And here's the thing. That's what makes us different. I'm just letting you know. Abundant Life Nation, we're all about coaching, therapy, and motivation. Somebody said the Hillsong documentary. Exactly, sweetheart. Because one of the pitfalls of traditional Christianity, and this is not what Jesus intended at all, but one of the pitfalls of Christianity is that it literally creates codependency and creates a system that is about control. It's not, and doesn't teach you about how to really truly heal and manifest abundant life for yourself. It's keeping you dependent on leaders, dependent on people in order to feel like you're going to be okay or do better in life. And that system keeps people stuck. Because you can't just keep laying it on the altar and think that you're going to get healed. You need to process the emotions, process the pain. That requires therapy and coaching. It's more than just by his stripes you're healed. That's not how healing works. You're waiting for this instantaneous, miraculous healing where God's just going to turn it and fix it and make it right now, moment, fix it. And that's not how God works. God processes you to heal. He's got so many lessons for you tied up inside of the process of healing. While you're waiting for this miraculous moment to change your mindset, in reality, God is trying to heal the patterns that you keep repeating that keep getting you the same results. He's trying to change that and heal it so you don't keep repeating those same patterns again and again. Authentically, Nick says, I had to get away from church. I felt so weak. It's been years since I've been out of church and working on myself, and I feel way more powerful. Yeah, God still expects us to use our mental faculties. Exactly, sweetheart. Anyway, I love you guys. So look forward to some Abundant Life Nation stuff coming your way. You're going to see a lead page where you're able to join and get some more information. Submit your email to stay connected with us. We have an Abundant Life Nation Facebook group. The link for that is inside of my link, my bio as well. Make sure you click the link and join the Facebook group, because that will be where we first start rolling things out. That's our core following that's been with us for years. I absolutely love you guys. This message is that God has a dream for your life beyond where you're at right now. More love, more prosperity, more success, more purpose. God has a dream for your life. It is up to you to do the work to align with that, to align with God's greater vision. All right. I love you guys. Make sure you click the link in the bio for your Heartbreak course, your work masterclass. Click the link in the bio to join the Abundant Life Nation Facebook group. Click the link in there to also become a certified abundant life coach if you are wanting to join our leadership as part of Healer Nation. If you are wanting to become a certified healer, make sure you click the link to become a certified abundant life coach. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for sticking with me this afternoon. Coming on here while I cry and let y'all know what I was meditating on and journaling on this morning. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.